Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry, just hold on a sec. I just want to send some tweets. There you go. Hello. Sorry, it wasn't. Steam was being weird. But I think it's all good now. So, show chat. Yeah, let me know if the audio or anything is not working for you. So what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to answer some questions. So I got some questions in the Discord, the Shape Shop Discord, which I started a few days ago. And then while I answer those questions, I might also try and build some things that you've asked me to build. So that'll be fun. Alright, so the first thing, so someone asked me to build a donut mobile, drawing inspiration from a mono wheel, so like a single wheel with something inside, a donut mobile. So I don't know if that's like supposed to look like a donut. Maybe I'll make it like pink and put colourful sprinkles on it or something. Yeah, let me try and get started on that. And then questions. Let's have a look. Alright, so there's a bunch of questions. So the first one is, well, it's a very general one. What would you say is the scope of the game planned? So the scope of the game. So I don't want to get into too many details, but basically this kind of the area in the demo. There's 5 deliveries with these stations. So what the plan is to have a bunch of these kind of hubs with a bunch of deliveries centered around a kind of the construction of a new building. So in this case it was an observatory, but one had all sorts of different things that you're constructing, and so there'll be these deliveries around the construction of a building, and they'll be kind of all spread out all over the map, and those will all be handcrafted. So they'll be kind of, you'll unlock new blueprints as you unlock those contracts and complete them, and all the kind of deliveries and that will be kind of played to the new parts that you unlock. So maybe unlock a rocket engine, and there's kind of, you have to get to some hard places, things like that. And then the other thing those will be kind of hand designed kind of areas, a little bit more puzzly. But then there'll also be just procedurally generated contracts that you can do anytime. They'll just pop up and come and go, in the style of kind of Euro Truck Simulator. So you can kind of just do them, and they'll be spread around the map. This is just the kind of opening area of the map. The map is actually much bigger than this. Yeah, you'll be able to do as many of those as you want and kind of earn as much money as you want. And, there'll be sort of little extra unlocks you can do for those. You'll get when you do those. But the main kind of campaign part of the game will be this kind of doing these construction projects. Yeah, and there'll be plenty more parts to unlock and lots of interesting things to deliver with different constraints. So I want to add constraints like, you can't drop this thing on the floor, or maybe this thing you have to keep upright. There'll be some parcels or cargo with like weird properties, like there might be things that are really bouncy, or there might be you know, I've got one that's an anti-gravity device that's is not affected by gravity, so it might float away, so things like that. So yeah, that's kind of in broad terms what the kind of the goal, the scope that I'm aiming for is. So it's not, I'm not sort of aiming to do like base building or anything like that. It's all going to be focused on the vehicle building and doing the deliveries, but making those as interesting and fun as possible. Will there be any aircraft or any kind of jump jet thruster parts? Yes. So so I really got like a thruster part in the game. So it's not part of the demo, but this is a very kind of powerful kind of thruster, but I want to have sort of maybe one side. It's a bit loud actually. Let me just so ones that give you a bit more control, or allow you to kind of control the direction and stuff. So there's no kind of wind physics or anything like that. So you're not. I don't think I'm going to have sort of wings or anything like that. Maybe there'll be like propeller blades. I'm not sure, but it's mainly going to be sort of centered around thrusters and things. But there will be definitely flying. Can you have multiple vehicles active at once? No, so you're only ever driving one vehicle at a time. There is online co-op though, so you can play with friends, and you obviously will each control your own vehicle. Is gravity accurately modeled to Mars? No. So so let me start building that thing I was going to build. So what I've tried to do is I basically just made the gravity and the physics so that it feels fun to kind of drive around and ramp and skid around and stuff. The dimensions of things are a bit weird as well. So one of these blocks is actually 1 meter in Unity's kind of measurement system, and then I think I've got the gravity in Unity in the physics engine set to like 40 meters per second squared. But because meters are so small, things still feel kind of floaty. So it's not accurate, but it's kind of just I've made it so that it feels good to me. So that was more important than accuracy. Let me start building this mono wheel. I think I'll do it something like this. Maybe this will be the kind of outer rim of it. See what the next question is. Are there any projectile parts? No, not at the moment. One I was thinking of was kind of like a you could maybe shoot out a line into things like a, what's the word, like a tow line to like into a rock or something to pull yourself up, but I'm not sure if that will. I have to experiment with that and see how it goes. A worm or a snake. So that was actually the first. I'll do the I'll do that next. So I'll do the mono wheel first, and then I'll do the worm or the snake. Okay, more questions. Can you talk about the build limits maximum complexity for the rovers? So I don't really have any. I don't really have many limits in the game at the moment, and that's mainly because it's just a demo, and there's only so many parts you can buy unless you hack the save file. There is a limit on how big you can make it. So there's kind of, I think it's 40 by 40 by 40 little units, little blocks. So if you try build too far, you'll hit the edge and you won't be able to go any further. But I think probably, especially if I add a creative mode, I'll probably have to add some sort of limit, in terms of the number of parts you can use, just to keep things running smoothly. But I think that will just require some testing, and I have a bit more optimization to do on the building and stuff as well. So I think I think the limits will be quite high. But yeah, probably will just put some limits and just so people aren't crashing the game. Is there any kind of power engine fuel system for the rovers? No. So I did think about that, and it's hard to talk and build at the same time. I just thought, it's possible I might revisit that and add something like that in, but I don't think so, because I think the building, I wanted to kind of just focus on the kind of building and the deliveries and stuff. And I think the game is can be challenging enough on its own without having to worry about, resource management and stuff like that. So that your kind of main resource is your parts. So I like the idea that you kind of have your money. So I've obviously given myself a lot of money here just to play around. And you're buying parts, and then you can't sell them, you can't refund them. So you're kind of building up this collection, your own personalized collection of parts, almost like a Lego set. And so that's your main kind of resource in the game. But yeah, so I don't have any plans at the moment for kind of a resource, any kind of fuel or energy kind of system. Let me just finish this wheel. I'm hoping this will line up. And then I'll answer another question. Alright, that's going to connect up. Alright. I'm not going to fit one of those. I'll just do this. Alright. So there's that. Probably so I've unlocked a few things in here, so I can because this is the developer build. I've got a little console that I can type commands in. Why not just put it on the edge of the cliff here? Kind of works. But I think what will be cool is if we have something in the middle that's kind of like staying put while the wheel rotates around it, and then maybe we can motorize that somehow. Not sure. We might have to just use a rocket. I'm not sure. We'll see. Okay, what's the next question? Are googly eyes an available part? Not yet, but I definitely want to add things like that, like fun little cosmetic things. Googly eyes is like a really great. I think we've talked about adding that already. So, but like having those kind of fun cosmetic parts, I think we'll have lots of those. I haven't really put them in yet because they're pretty easy things to add. They're just kind of cosmetic. They don't have kind of any function. So, been mainly kind of working on the more functional parts. But yeah, definitely want to add more cosmetic parts like it. How important will community player feedback and suggestions be? That's like And that sort of input is really valuable to me, because I want to like, it is a very sandboxy game, so I kind of want to see how people are having fun with it, how people are enjoying it, and kind of play into that. I don't necessarily, I mean, it's still obviously going to be my game, and I'm always going to do things that make sense in terms of like what I can feasibly add to the game and what I will enjoy adding to the game. But so there's kind of a balance between that and then what people are enjoying about the game and playing into that. But I definitely want to play into what people are enjoying about the game. So community feedback is quite important to me. It doesn't mean that I will implement everything that the community asks for, of course. That wouldn't be practical, really. But yeah, I'm really keen to see how and hear how people engage with the game. So this part here is a new part. So there's quite a few new parts here that you haven't seen in the demo. This is a bigger wheel, and this part here is a hinge. So it's a movable part, but it's not powered. So I'm gonna put that there, and then maybe that will be enough to kind of keep this bit in the middle still. So let's see how that goes. I have a little roll cage in here. I think I might need to make the wheel a bit thicker though, because it's thin, it's going to topple over. Let me know if the sound is not... Ooh. Someone says, wow, that's loud. Hello. Can you just tell me what's loud? Is it the game that's loud, or am I loud? Thanks. I mean, I've turned the volume of the game right down, so I assume I could turn it down in OBS as well. Turn that down there. Oh no, yeah, no, I'll turn the desktop audio down as well. That's all the way down. That should be pretty low. Let me know if that's okay. Let me just build this little... So this square bit, I'm hoping will kind of stay put, and then the bit around it will roll. But I think what I want to do is actually just also make this a bit thicker, make the wheel a bit thicker. Let's see. Is it going to work? This. Just so. Let's make it thicker along these parts. Maybe I should put some more. See how this goes. Whoops. Okay, so let me actually go somewhere flatter. Okay, so there we go. So that middle bit, I want to, it's kind of a bit, I think it needs a bit of weight at the bottom so it stays put. So what I might do, I'll put a wheel, because wheels are quite heavy. So wheels, I made wheels really heavy. You see that's 8 kilograms, this is 12 kilograms. Everything else is like relatively much lighter. And the reason that wheels are really heavy is because that moves the center of mass down, so that yeah, so it just makes the, like, generally if you've got wheels, they'll be low down, so it lowers the center of mass and just makes everything more stable. No thanks. Someone says they watched Real Civil Engineer play it. Yeah, I really enjoyed watching that. That was good. Okay, so let me put. Okay, let me see how it is. Let's see how that goes. So now, I'm tempted to just use a rocket, but I wonder if I can do it. Well, let's put some rockets on it, see how it goes. I don't know. I guess I could make this a motor, but then that's... You see, if I make that a motor, it's just going to turn this. It's not going to turn this wheel. So let me add some rockets. Rockets are just kind of good for everything, really. Now, which way do I want this to spin? So I want it to go like this. So, if I put will a rocket fit in there? No. Actually, see, there's not really enough space there. Let me make this a bit smaller. Well, I'll just leave it like that. I need enough space for the rockets to fit in underneath it. So they're going to spin around as well. So I want to go like that. So if I do this, like that, and I guess we can put one, yeah, maybe, and then put another one here. This will be fun. Okay, let's see what happens here. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's one thing I have to fix actually, because the camera is always centered on the CPU at the moment. It kind of works. I think the middle bit should be a bit, so because the CPU is going like this, the camera is like going up and down, and I really need to make the camera kind of just focus on the object as a whole and not just like one piece in the object. Sorry if you're getting really dizzy. Oh, it's really... let me try and get a good run up. So could maybe be a bit more stable. I could put some more, make it a little bit wider. Give it a paint job as well. And probably, actually I could probably put some grip on it as well. That would be good. So these jaw parts actually have higher friction than the other parts. So maybe I'll put some of those on as well. goes. So I should give this paint job as well. Whoops, that's not fitting there. Oh. It's colliding with this CPU. Doesn't matter. Let's we can paint that. Black. Let me have a look, see what the next question is as well. Why Mars instead of a fictional planet? Okay, that's a good question. So, so actually, this game started as a small commission. It was meant to be just a small, non-commercial game. So there was some government funding for to commission some game makers to make some small games. It was sort of like pandemic relief funding, and there was a theme for the games, which is the color, and I got red, and I'd been kind of wanting to make this game with these landscapes and making vehicles, and because my theme was red, I decided to go with Mars. So kind of it's quite quite arbitrary that it's on Mars, but I think Mars is actually like I quite like Mars as a setting because it feels far away and kind of alien, but it's also relatable in a way because we've seen pictures of Mars. People have an idea of what Mars looks like. It's somewhere we could potentially reach. So it's kind of at the same time alien, but also relatable, and you can kind of play into you can sort of play into people's perceptions of what Mars is. Kind of there's like there's lots of reference material that I can draw on for Mars as well. So it's the photos of Mars and stuff. Actually, let me make this middle bit blue maybe. I feel like I should make this a little bit heavier though. Maybe I'll just put another wheel there. Let's see how that goes. That's pretty good. It's not really staying level though, the inside bit. It's still falling over. Let's go down this hill. Yeah, it's making me dizzy actually. Alright. Look. So then the other request was for a worm or a snake. So I think I'll do that next. Someone asks, will there be a creative mode? I think so. I don't want to say like definitely yes, but I think there will be one. So it makes sense to have one as a kind of a separate thing, where maybe you're not doing deliveries and earning money, but it's just a sort of a total sandbox for you to make stuff. I do really like the idea of like doing these jobs and then earning money and then kind of building up your kind of precious own Lego collection. But I think that can kind of coexist with a separate creative mode. But yeah, I don't want to promise it yet, but I think I don't see why we couldn't have one. Someone asks, what's the size of the map? whole planet or parts. So I mean, it's not actually obviously like a direct like, it's all fictional, right? Like these mountains and that don't actually exist on Mars. It's actually, so the terrain is actually procedurally generated, and so it's not like taken from like Mars telemetry or anything like that. But the map is quite big, so I've got a little sheet I can do. So this is the starting area up to the fog. I can turn the fog off. And I won't show you everything, but you can go like a fair way this way. You can go fair way this way. So there's quite a lot. There's quite a lot to have a look for. This. You can have a look here if you want. It's still very red there. Let's go up here. See what it's like. Whoops. Whoa. So it's quite a mountainous area here. So yeah, it's quite big, but I don't want to like show you the whole thing, because it's kind of like fun to explore it for yourself, I think. But it's pretty big. Any planning for adding decorations, stickers, small props, etc. for vehicles? Yes, so there was a similar question before about googly eyes, like oops. I'll just teleport back here. I don't know about stickers, but like definitely cosmetic parts. There'll be a lot of cosmetic parts. I really like, I don't know, like in real Lego, you often find like you get a part that's supposed to be like a lightsaber, for example, but it has like all sorts of other uses, and it can kind of look like all sorts of other things and be used in all sorts of different situations. So I like the idea of kind of keeping the parts fairly generic, but having all sorts of different shapes that you could use in different ways to kind of represent different things. So yes, there'll be a lot of cosmetic parts. Right, let me build a worm. Let's see. Let me just. Okay. So worm, so no wheels, and it has to move. I think it'd be cool to make like a caterpillar kind of thing that goes like, it goes like kind of like this kind of like movement. Not sure what the best way to do that is. It should be pink, I think, a worm. Let's see. I mean, I guess we could just put a bunch of servos and make it kind of squirm around. I don't know. Let's see. What I'll do is I'll make all these servers activate at the same time. So, and then that's the front part. Let's put a tail I don't know what this is going to do, but let's see. Maybe put one of these and put one of these. So this was kind of a part I made for like a forklift. You could use as maybe like a forklift kind of fork. I think it's actually called a fork. Yeah. Alright, so these will all be on different channels. So what I'll do is I'll just put them on the same one. Let's see, what about this one? It's moving. It is kind of moving. It's definitely writhing. Whoops. One came off there. To look at that. That's a relatively new part, so I think I could do it again. I don't know, does that count as a worm? I think that's definitely counts as a worm, right? Let's have a look. Are there any loose parts such as bearings and joints? So yeah, so there's the hinge, and there will be lots of other ones. Like this is sort of provides kind of rotational, a loose rotational part. But then I think so things are other things I want to add, like spherical joints. You could have linear joints as well. Things that are not motorized, that are just loose. It's quite handy. And I think it would be nice to have kind of gyroscopic parts as well. Maybe there's something that's not, you don't control it directly, but for example, it always points down, always points a certain direction. So it tries to orientate itself in one direction. I think that'd be really handy for particularly flying things, like controlling the rockets and things like that. Yeah, I guess I can show you. Well, I used this in the other thing. Oops. Let's change all these. So you can see it kind of just rotates around that hinge. What other movement parts are there? So there'll be quite a few more different wheels. So I mean, this is just a slightly bigger wheel, but I want to have wheels, for example, like a sticky wheel that will like stick to things, so you can go upside down. And I've got all the physics and stuff for that already. I just haven't implemented it. But this wheel is more powerful than the smaller one, and because it gives you more clearance, you can kind of go over bumps and that much easier. But yeah, I'll have yeah, treads is another one I was thinking of, like tank treads. I'm not sure how best to do that. It's really cool if you could sort of have configurable tank treads, but I'm not sure if that's feasible. So kind kind of want to think about that a bit more. And obviously there's the rockets, so I know different types of rockets. Maybe kind of helicopter blades, things like that as well. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of having, instead of just having one part that you can configure lots of settings on, having different parts, like different wheels that have different kind of grips and stickinesses and bounciness, and because then it also adds like functional variety, but also visual variety as well. Are there any kind of sensor or logic part? No. So there's no. I'm not planning to add like any kind of programming system where you can kind of automate the vehicles. I think for me, I'm not like going to totally rule it out, but at the moment that's not in the plan. I kind of like the idea that you build something and then part of the fun is like then trying to control it as well. So yeah, I don't have any sort of automation or kind of logic parts planned. Are there any planned weather events effects? I'm not sure for the like initial release, but I do want to experiment with like dust storms and kind of wind effects and things like that. I think I kind of like the idea. I liked in Death Stranding there was the timefall, and it was sort of this dynamic kind of part of the map, so that you could see there's a dust storm coming like over here, so I better go around the dust storm, and it sort of adds this kind of dynamic element to the map. And I think that'll be really fun to kind of experiment with. And if you get caught in a dust storm, maybe you have like a part that you can use to like attach yourself to the ground, so you don't blow away. But at the same time, it might end up just not being. It might just end up being really annoying. So, if you keep getting blown away. So I want to play around with it and see if I can make it fun. But yeah, it's definitely something I want to experiment with. And then someone's asking again, will there be ability to program sequences into parts, kind of like robotics and Kerbal Space Program? Yeah, as I said, I don't have any plans for that at the moment. So there was some extra building ideas. So one was something that climbs. So let's have a look. There's a kind of some scaffolding here, so I could try and make something that climbs up the scaffolding. Some sort of monkey thing. So I could try and make something that climbs up there, maybe. Not sure how that will go. Let's see. Let's get rid of these wheels. Let's do a different color. Maybe screen. So I kind of want, I guess I want it to be quite light if it's going to climb up, so maybe I won't have any wheels. Or maybe I'll just have 3 wheels. Like that, maybe. And then so what I'm thinking is I'll kind of make like kind of a claw that goes, I'll make 2 arms that go up and can grab one, and then the other one can come up, and then the other one can So kind of climb up like that maybe. Okay, so that's base, and then that's one arm, that's the other arm. Maybe I should make them a bit wider actually. And then what I'll do is I'll double these up as well. So so they have extra reach. All right. So those are the arms. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to put those all on the same channel so I can control them all at the same time. Oh no, I don't want to do that. I want to have one side on one channel and the other on the other channel. Okay, so I will it's a bit unstable. Okay, let me delete these. So what's the plan? The plan is to climb up here. See, I don't really care about being unstable on the ground because I'm not going to be on the ground most of the time. As long as I can get in front of this thing. So the idea is to lift this one up and then switch over to this one, then I can lift that one up. I feel like they need to be a bit longer though, so maybe I'll add another. What I'll do that. So this, and then I need something to grab onto the whatever I'm grabbing onto. Alright, so I've got this. This is 2, so that's all 2. This is all 1, and then I'll make this 4, and I'll make that 5. No, sorry, 3 and 4. Alright, so oh, and it's backwards. That's alright though. Let's reverse. Okay, wait, I need to make this a bit more stable then. What if I just put another wheel there? Just be careful. Okay. Okay, so we're in the right position now. So now I'll extend this and move this. Oh. Okay. There we go. Now I just need to pull myself out. There we go. Okay. And then that's right. Just do this. Oh no. So that's not reaching there, is it? Damn. I need to get in there. Oh, it's getting stuck. See, I need I need longer claws, I think. I can. Oh no. Right, let me. I think if I have longer claws, that might help. Let's see. Right. See, I don't want to put the wheels too far forward because, okay, I need to do that because I keep on falling out. Otherwise, I want to be as close to the scaffolding as possible. It's better. Oh, fuck. Okay. Okay, wait, I need to extend this up. And like that. And I can pull myself up. And okay. I'm gonna get this. So what I could maybe do is thinking I'll make this like a double I don't know if that's going to work though. Maybe I can just make this a piston, then I can extend it and retract it a bit. Oh, maybe I will use this maybe, or this. It's a bit more likely to not fall out. Right. One of the things on my to-do list is to not, when it respawns you, it always spawns you in the same direction, which can be a bit annoying. So one of my tasks is to make it respawn you in the direction that the camera is actually facing. Okay. Maybe I can just use this. Oh no. So okay, this one. Okay. This one. Oops. It's gonna work, yes. Pull myself up. Okay. Now let's see if I can. To get I think what I need is like I need something at the bottom to push myself out so that I can oops. Alright, let me just give this one more go. This is hard. Let me. If I had some sort of pusher so I could like push myself off the edge, that might help. Let's see. But I don't want it to stick out too much. Something like this. So it's getting really complicated. Okay, and then let's try this, and then I can push this out, and I've got a bit of flexibility with that servo. Oops. Oops. Okay. Okay. Pull myself up. All right. And now we can swing around a bit. Yes. Okay, there we go. Move this up. Is that going to get up there? That would be good. Not quite. Not quite, but can I use this now to I think I failed. Oh well. I think I'd get there in the end, but no, I've run out of time, so let's take the lift up. Anyway, thank you all for watching, if anyone's still there. Yeah, there's people have been hacking the save file in the Discord and making really interesting designs and really pushing the physics to the limits. Yeah, if you want to see some really interesting vehicles, have a look in the Discord. I can't even get up the thing now. There we go. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and see you later. Bye. Ooh, it's gonna get squashed. Poof. Stop. Okay, bye.